Welcome to KBS World Radio. You're now tuned in to Korea24's Korea Book Club, where we explore the world of Korean literature. This is our weekend replay edition, playing back our book segment from Wednesday's show. We hope you enjoy it. I'm your host, Kwon Jang-woo. Joining me in the studio now is our literary critic, Barry Welsh, with another work for us to discover. Barry, hello, it's good to see you.
Yes, hello, nice to be back.
Okay, so what have you brought for us this week?
So we are reviewing a novel called Concerning My Daughter. The Korean title is Dare Dehayo, and it's by Kim Hye-jin, translated by Jamie Chang, who also translated the best-selling novel Kim Ji-young, born 1982, by Cho Nam-ju. And Concerning My Daughter was first published in Korea in 2017, and English translation followed just last year. And I believe it's Kim's first work to be translated into English. And it tells the story of a woman in her 70s as she comes to terms, or tries to come to terms, with two important relationships in her life. The first, she struggles to accept that her daughter is gay and in a committed relationship with another woman. And at the same time, in her role as a care assistant, she tries to look after and protect an increasingly sick and bewildered woman called Jen, who has no family of her own and is sinking into dementia. The novel won the Shin Dong-yeop Prize for Literature, and Kim Hye-jin debuted back in 2012 with a short story called Chicken Run, and since then she's written 3 award-winning novels. The others are Central Station, which won the Chungang Ilbo Award, and The Work of Number 9, which won the Daesan Literary Award. And Concerning My Daughter is a devastating critique of several aspects of contemporary Korean society, and I'm sure many readers will find it insightful.
Yes, wow, indeed. There's a lot going on there. Concerning My Daughter, Dare Dehayo, it's about an elderly woman being confronted with this taboo subject of homosexuality in Korea, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then something that is becoming increasingly common as well, elderly who have little help or care around them, a byproduct of an aging society in Korea, of course. So then, can you tell us more? How does Kim dissect some of these aspects of Korean society in this work?
Right, so the central relationship in the book is the one between the narrator and her adult daughter, Green. Green is in her 30s and she works as a professor, a university professor, a lecturer who's on a temporary contract. And at the beginning of the book, Green, who's had some, financial problems related to her job, and her mother, they're sort of brought back together due to the sort of economic difficulties that Green is experiencing. So Green wants her mother to let her move into the rooms on the second floor of her mother's house. And her mother's initially reluctant to do this because she relies on the money that the tenants who stay there pay her every month. But nevertheless, they come to an agreement, and so Green moves back in with her mother for the first time since she was a teenager. However, Green also brings her partner Lane, and this means that the story's narrator, who's unnamed throughout the book, is forced to observe her daughter's relationship with another woman up close. And this is something that causes her anguish and pain. She simply can't comprehend, why her daughter would live like this. And at one point she thinks, why doesn't she get married, running a home, having a child and raising it, becoming a mother and fulfilling one's social duty? Why not take on that meaningful grown-up role and stop wasting time and energy? So we can see, this older woman, she's in her 8th decade, she has these traditional expectations, and she's hoped for this for a long time, and she's desired, what she believes are these important central things for her daughter. But Green tries to explain to her, that she is in a relationship. And at one point she says, Ma, Lane is not a friend. To me, she's husband and wife and child. She is my family. And so we can see, in this sort of the central conflict, that one of the things that's happening in the novel is this, intergenerational dispute that's centred on their differing beliefs around what constitutes a family.
Sure, this struggle to accept the situation sounds like it is a source of much drama and conflict. It sounds compelling. But as we said, this mother-daughter relationship isn't the only aspect of the story. What is the other significant relationship affecting the narrator?
Yeah, right. So the narrator, she supplements her income by working as a care assistant, which is telling in itself. She's in her 70s, but she still needs to work in some way to keep money coming in. So she works in a nursing home. At the moment, she has one primary patient, and that's this woman called Jen, who's well into her 80s and is mostly lost to dementia or something similar. And Jen has lived a very full life. She's travelled the world. She's devoted herself to charity work and social causes over the course of this long life. But she never married, and she's no children. And so while there might be a documentary TV show that's interested in maybe telling her life story, she doesn't have any visitors or family or really anyone to care for her. And so Kim uses this relationship to show the cruelty of old age and what it's like to be abandoned in your old age. And we see this in the way the care home treats the patients. They cut corners in every possible way. The narrator has to reuse old nappies and bandages. She can't get the medicine she needs to treat her. And the care workers are all overworked and underpaid, and many are indifferent to their parents' suffering. And the narrator can't help but wonder, why did Jen dedicate her life to helping others? It seems a strange thing to think, but she says, how could she do that for someone she'd never met? Send money every month to a child as good as a stranger. My God, why did that woman do something so foolish and pointless for decades? And the point of this for the narrator is because look at the position she's in now. She doesn't have anyone to care for her. And the narrator thinks that this type of support is something that, should be reserved for your family, for your own flesh and blood. But even so, she then finds herself wondering, who will visit her when she reaches that state? Will her daughter care? Will her daughter take the time to look after her? And the answer is perhaps a little doubtful.
So it sounds like there's a lot of angst and soul-searching, should we say, questioning the traditional values that the narrator has grown up with and a lot of people in Korea has grown up with. So without giving too much away, is there some sort of conclusion or epiphany or anything like that in the end, or is it not a work like that? Does the narrator's viewpoint change at all?
Right. So, the book's final section is, deeply sad, like the final sequence of the novel. But the narrator, does reach some kind of acceptance or shift in their viewpoint. At one point, she thinks Lei, referring to Green and Lane, they exist in the thick of life, terrifying, relentless. What they see from where they stand, what they are trying to see, what they will see, I cannot even imagine. This is a complicated novel. Some will find this challenging if you look at some of the reviews online, but it's a very insightful novel. It's also a revealing novel in some ways, and it's a novel that I'm sure will spark a lot of debate among readers.
Yes, it certainly sounds that way. So once again, it's called Concerning My Daughter by Kim Hye-jin. That is where we'll leave it for Korea Book Club this week. Barry, thank you for your review, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, take care.
KBS World Radio.